Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Scott's Quick Cash Class. Every day bringing you different financial topics, 5 to 7 minutes. Hopefully some of the things you're interested in. If not, leave a comment. I love new segments to study and help with you guys. But today we're talking about how to budget like a millionaire, right? So I've been getting a lot of feedback lately about budgets and why do we need them and why are they important and how do we even do one. And so we're just going to go over a few different statistics and some actionable items that you can do. That way you help get your budget on track and you can see where that money's going, because I know whenever I was younger, before I started budgeting, I would, hey, I'm getting paid X amount of dollars. I'm like, I got plenty of money for my bills, right? And I get my paycheck, start paying my bills, get a few other things, go out on Friday night, buy this, buy that. Next thing I know, by like Wednesday after I got paid, I've got like $100 in my account. I'm like, how am I gonna get to the next payday, right? I was always thinking about that next payday instead of thinking, how can I make this money grow? And how can I make sure I have enough money to last till payday was my first objective. So here's a few interesting statistics for you. 93% of millionaires and billionaires use budgets. So that in and of itself tells me that if they still have all this money and they're still budgeting, why should I not budget? Number two, 94% of millionaires still use coupons or deals. So that's been a common theme in my study of millionaires, is they're still very frugal people. I know when we look at social media and some of the different things that are on there, we see everyone's driving a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, everyone's got a Rolex on, they're wearing Gucci clothes, they got the Louis Vuitton bags, all of that stuff, the fancy shoes. But the reality is that, and I'm not saying some millionaires don't have that things, because obviously they do, or they wouldn't build that and sell that stuff. However, a majority of millionaires are very frugal people. Warren Buffett comes to mind as the ultimate frugal person. Do some research on him, but he's one of the wealthiest people in the world and still lives in a house that he bought, I believe, back in the 50s or 60s. So, you don't have to live like a millionaire, right? Or how it appears millionaires live. They're still very frugal, and if they're frugal, we should be frugal. Number three, 80% of the millionaires that were studied that work for companies invested in their 401k. So 8 out of 10 of the millionaires that got there used their company's 401k for that. Why wouldn't you? That's one of the big pieces of my pie of how I got there. And to not use that tax deferred money or tax free money and not use your company match is you're just throwing money away. And if you go back, like I'm 45 right now, if I went back and calculated how much money I'm out because I didn't use my company's matches or I didn't start investing in that 401k at a much earlier age, if I went back and did the math on that, I would probably be like beyond retired now. And so that's my message to you, especially if you're young. The sooner the better, no matter how much it is. So what are some things we can do to kind of turn the ship around? Action step number one, track your spending, analyze your cash flow, right? So do a budget, and then you need to make sure every dollar before your paycheck comes. So now when I do budgets, my budget is, I've got a couple different budgets. I have a yearly budget, I have a monthly budget, and then, even a 2-week budget, because we have different bills at 2 weeks. But my budget's done a week before my bills, or before I get my paycheck, because I know when that money hits my account where it's exactly going, and there's not hardly ever any deviation. Like when I go 100's going here, 300's going here, 500's going here, that's where it goes. And I know how much is going to be left over, and I know how to plan accordingly. And that's what a lot of millionaires do, is they already have the plan. When that money comes, they already know where it's going. Because if you don't know where it's going or you don't have a plan for it, the universe does. And it will just trickle and nickel and dime out of your account. So track it and have a plan. Number two, think in systems. So wealthy people don't look at money the same way that middle class and less fortunate people look at. They look at money as a tool, and when they get this money in, they look, which area can it help out, or where can I put this money? Meaning, am I gonna put it into assets? Do I need to pay off some debt? Do I need to invest it over here in this mutual fund or stock? They already have a plan, and as their plans start to evolve and they need to shift capital around, that's what they use their income coming in for, is to, hey, do I need to shift it over here? Do I need to shift it over here? Because they're always thinking about how to get their money to work for them so they don't have to work as hard. So I challenge you guys, if you don't have any assets or anything income producing, look at getting a dividend paying stock. It's the easiest asset to get that's dividend paying, and there's a lot of dividend paying stocks out there. But open a Robinhood account, buy a dividend paying stock, and you're on your way. Third thing, review quarterly any issues that you might have and look to set up automation for that. And we've talked about this in previous things, how automation is very helpful, but that's one of the things that wealthy people do and successful people is they automate, especially financial things. Whether that's paying a bill and automating it and getting it paid on time, or whether that's investing, they make sure when that money comes in, they don't have to do anything extra to get that money to work for them. Because what happens is, if you're like, every month on the 5th, when I get paid, I'm gonna send it in. Inevitably, the 5th's on a Sunday, and maybe you're out with your friends, or the 5th's a Friday night, or it's a Saturday, or maybe you're just a little short that month, and you're like, I'll get it next month, and then next month comes, and you don't send it in. They automate things, and it takes out all the guesswork, so they don't even have to worry about, did I send it in or not send it in? And by doing that, it compounds a lot faster, and they build wealth and they build a net worth a lot faster that way than actually sitting down and doing that. So I challenge you, review your budget quarterly, see if you need to make any changes, and see what things you can automate on there. So that's all I have for you today. We got the question of the day, tip of the day. Question of the day, what is one rich habit you wish you started using today, or that you're gonna start using today? And then tip of the day, try the 60-20-20 rule, which is 60% for needs, 20% to investments, and 20% to lifestyle upgrades. If you save money now, you're going to be able to spend later like you never thought. And I know that's, a hard concept, or sometimes it's difficult to get that first ball rolling. But once you get that first ball rolling, whether it's $5, $10, $15, $1,000, whatever that is, it's momentum, and it changes your mindset. And when you see that $20 grow to $25, and you want to put more in and more and more in, it's going to help change your mindset. So hopefully you guys learned something today. Appreciate everybody watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the bottom. Till next time.